The HK Gaming GK61 is a great entry-level keyboard with optical switches. It has a starting retail price of $59.99. There is an argument for the Gateron Optical yellow variant being the fastest keyboard in the world. We're going to be unboxing this today and I'll also give you guys my first impressions. Let's go ahead and get started. So here is the HK Gaming GK61. You'll notice here front and center you do have a logo. There is what looks like a 61 along with what might be a GK symbol. Not quite sure, but that's it on the front of the box. Let's take a look at the other sides. There really isn't much else other than this little tag here at the top. Here you do have the GK61 product number and barcode and some of the other information. So there's a couple different variants. You have black and white. You have your choice of Gateron Optical switches, which we'll get into detail later in the video. But other than that, that's all you have for the tag, and that's pretty much it for the box. So let's go ahead and open it up. Here's a quick look at the keyboard, which we'll save for last. Let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories first. Beneath the keyboard, you do have one little insert. This is the GK61 series, and keep in mind that there are different variants. You have keyboards that have wired and wireless capabilities. On the back side, you do have a description for the various FN functions. You have control over the RGB settings as well as multimedia keys and other settings. So we'll go into detail on some of these later in the video. On the inside, there is a different language other than English, so that's pretty much it for the insert. The next thing that you'll have here is a Type-C cable. It does look like it's gold plated on both ends. The cable itself is braided, so it looks quite sturdy. It looks nice. It kind of has a silver/gray look to it. It does come with a cable strap, so that should help with cable management. But that's it for the cable. Let's go ahead and look at the second and final accessory. So you have a little box. Let's see what's in there. Just a couple things. You do have a keycap puller. I personally prefer a wired keycap pullers, but at least you do have one in the box if you need to replace the keycaps. The other thing that you have here is a metal switch puller. This will come in handy as this board is hot swappable. So that's one of the perks and benefits of having this board. Pretty easy to switch out keycaps and pretty easy to switch out switches, but keep in mind that the only switches that are compatible with them are Gateron Opticals. Other than that, that's pretty much it for the accessories. So let's go ahead and take a look at the keyboard. All right, so here is the keyboard, and you'll notice it is wrapped in a plastic, so let's go ahead and open that up. Here's the first look at the keyboard, and as far as first impressions go, this is pretty lightweight and I like the build quality so far. It seems pretty durable with minimal flex. But other than that, let's go ahead and start by looking at some of these keycaps. So these keycaps are ABS double shot with shine through legends. If you're not familiar with ABS, essentially it tends to be the cheaper option compared to PBT at this price point. They tend to be more smooth and will develop shine over time. These legends have that split font that you see a lot on lower end keycaps. You'll notice that there are no closed loops on any of the alpha keys. The sides of the keycaps are glossy and reflective, which is typically done to enhance the look of the RGB. The wall thickness is actually pretty inconsistent. I'm getting completely different numbers across the board, and you can actually see the difference for yourself. The centering of the keycaps is off and definitely noticeable on the larger keycaps. However, I am confident that this will not actually affect typing or gameplay in any significant way. This keyboard also has a standard layout, so it should be extremely easy to find replacement keycap options. Okay, now it may seem like I'm bagging on this keyboard quite a bit, but let's go ahead and talk about some of the positives, and there are quite a few of them from here on out. The switches are of the Gateron Optical variety, which utilize an infrared beam to actuate. This results in an extremely fast response time of 0.2 milliseconds. What I have right here are the Gateron Optical yellows, and they are supposedly some of the fastest switches in the world. These have a total travel distance of 3.2 millimeters, an actuation point of 1.0 millimeters, and an operating force of 35 grams. In other words, these switches are really light and sensitive. They should be pretty good for gaming and, in my opinion, not so much for productivity. Keep in mind that there are also 5 other Gateron Optical switches available, so there should be something to fit your individual preference. This board is also hot swappable, but this is only for other Gateron Optical switches, which can run you for up to $30 for a full set. Links in the description below if you're interested. Let's go ahead and talk about that body. The case is made of plastic, but it's extremely durable. The design is pretty simple and clean with its rounded corners and nice angles. The only time that it flexes is if you press inward, which is pretty unrealistic, let's be honest. The feet are actually pretty grippy and recessed into the case, so there's no chance of them coming off. The GK61 also doesn't come with any kickstands, so you can adjust it, but I found the typing angle to be quite comfortable for both gameplay and productivity. This keyboard connects via USB Type-C, and the port is a little recessed, but it's pretty spacious, so it should accommodate all sorts of cables. Moving on to the most important part of the review, the RGB. Honestly, I was really impressed with it. The LEDs are plenty bright, and the reflective keycaps actually do a good job of enhancing the overall look. The shine through legends are actually pretty sharp, and there really wasn't any significant dim areas. The RGB is highly customizable on board by simply using the FN key paired with other keys. You can adjust the brightness using P and open bracket, while the effect speed can be changed with the colon and quotation mark. On board there are a total of 9 different RGB modes that you can access using the close bracket and backslash keys. I'll be displaying these modes in full detail at the end of the video if you're interested. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with the RGB. It's not quite as bright as the Ducky 1-2 Mini or SF, but then again, those keyboards cost significantly more. Next up, we have the sound test. I'll spend some time with the keyboard and I'll give you guys my overall impressions. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about my overall experience typing and gaming with this GK61. We'll start with the positives first. This thing is built like an absolute tank. The construction is really solid and the typing experience resembles typing on metal keyboards. If you've never compared the typing experience on a plastic versus metal keyboard, it's noticeably different. When gaming, I like the extra rigidity when bottoming out on keyboards with metal casings. I feel like I'm able to respond quicker, whereas typing on plastic keyboards can be a bit forgiving. They both have their pros and cons, and I like both for different reasons. Another pleasant surprise was the stabilizers. They are generously lubed, and this is something that I've noticed HK Gaming do well on a lot of their other keyboards. There is also software available for the GK61. It's not very intuitive. I've spent quite a bit of time with it honestly, and I still don't understand it, but you can definitely record macros and onto different layers as well. In addition to setting macros, the software also allows for further customization of the RGB. Now let's go ahead and talk about some of my negatives. The keycaps have got to go. Typing on them sounds like hollowed and high-pitched clacking noises. I feel like that's the weakest link of the entire keyboard. I'm already looking at replacement keycap options, and I think they would really transform the experience of this keyboard. Thankfully, it has a standard layout, so this will be extremely easy to find keycaps for. That's pretty much it for the video. Overall, the GK61 definitely has my recommendation for a budget gaming keyboard. There's no question that it's a solid performer. It's feature packed, and starting at $59.99, this one is pretty much a no-brainer for me. If you guys are interested in the keyboard, my affiliate links will be in the description below. As always, if you have any questions at all, drop a comment below and I'll get to you as soon as I can. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up button and support the channel by subscribing. I'll catch you guys on the next one. I gotta go eat some rice. This is Lil Rice Muncher Gaming, signing off. Thanks.